Hello, hello, this is Paper Cuts Included coming to you live from the Ninja Turtle sleeping blanket. And that's how you know it's legit. This is going to be a part 2 of the video before this, where I talk about my pickups. In that first video, I got a lot of books by artists. Like I got one Miller, one Magnolia book. All this is going to be from Mike Allred. I got 4 new Mike Allred books. And in one of our first videos, I did a little judge of Madman covers, or back covers, I'm sorry. And today we're going to see what new back covers we got by what guest artists, and we're going to rank them. So let's go over the ranking before we begin. Number 1, Frank Miller. I just love that piece. Frank Frazetta, not to be grand, but I thought Frazetta was dead by this point. So really cool to see a Frazetta piece. And then Alex Toth, which I guess that was before they had their breakup. So let's get right into it. I got quite a bit of cool stuff. All Madmen, all Mike Allred. I'll do a quick little Allred spiel. Love him. I've only been into him about a month and a half so far. I think he is one of the best cartoonists I've ever read. I compare him to Jeff Smith if you need someone to compare him to. I think any artist can learn a lot from him and just his cartooning ability. But with out of the way, let's talk about what I got. I'm going to put these to the side for now, and then we'll start judging them. So, and this is the Dark Horse line, in which I got 2 more books in that line. First off, we're going to talk about the Jeff Darrow one. Got a Jeff Darrow cover, you know, big guy if you don't know, and Madman. Great to see 2 of my favorite artists, Darrow being my favorite, and Allred probably in my top 5 now, doing a little book together. So, yeah, I haven't read them yet. I'll get to the ones I read at the end of the video. I'm waiting to get the whole line to kind of crack down into them. I have read the first trade of Madman, and an issue I'm going to talk about today I read, just so we can kind of do a quick review. But yeah, I guess freaking over. Oh, well, I guess I just spoiled it already. Back cover, it's a full Darrow piece. I just want to compare how Darrow draws Madman compared to Allred. I just love Darrow's version. He looks so grumpy, even though the character is supposed to be just like kind of, I don't know if peppy is the right word, but a lot more happy, I guess. He has some down moments, but I don't think I've ever seen him frown like that. But yeah, and Darrow's so great, isn't he? I wonder who colored it. I wonder if Allred's wife colored it, or if Lynn Varley, or not Lynn Varley, or is it Stewart who's doing some of Darrow's pieces at this time? Comment down below if you know. And like always, if you learn something from these videos or enjoy it, give it a like, give it a comment, and tell all your friends about it so you can subscribe. This is a comic book channel in which me and my 2 co-hosts, which will eventually come into fruition, are gonna kind of look at art, talk about comic books, talk about our own art. We're all 3 working artists, and I'll show off one of my works in progresses right now. This is the Arkansas Mad Mallard. It's our local baseball team's alter ego, and I'm going to do a piece about it. So we'll see how this turns out. And it's going to be a print. Now let's get her open. Let's see what all Darrow art's in it. Gosh. The Big Guy, created by Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow. Hey Jeff and Frank, thanks for the party. Oh yeah, covered by Laura Allred. Okay, so it says on the inside it's his wife. Or, I don't know. Is it ex-wife now? That don't really matter though. Gosh, I love Madman. Like I said, you can learn a lot from it. It's a great cartooning book. Mike Allred's probably a top tier, probably in the top 5 of all time in my opinion, cartoonist. I don't really know if I can name 5 off the head, but Jeff Smith and him I think are probably the greatest living right now, cartoonist wise. And I don't know, I'm not going to say which one's better, because I don't know. I believe Allred's a little bit more technical in his cartooning, and Jeff Smith's a little bit more whimsical. If you don't know, Jeff Smith worked on the series Bone, which I bet everyone has at least flipped through when they were at a Scholastic Book Fair. But yeah, I'm surprised stuff like Madman hasn't made it to that yet, book fairs, because I could totally see Madman kind of translating to that. I was talking to my co-host the other day, like, kind of this era of Dark Horse, it's weird that some stuff kind of got popular, like Big Guy got that cartoon that lasted 2 seasons, but there was still a whole lot more that didn't. like Madman, Monkey Man and O'Brien, Concrete. Like, none of those really got nothing besides some toys. I probably Madman's the best success out of those, who didn't make it into mainstream, but he had all that merchandising, which I'm sure helped all Red a lot. Let's just look at this page for a second. This is so beautiful. Look at that lettering. I'm trying to practice typography more, so just seeing like this, I'm like, woo! Let's talk about it. But it's great. I think every comic fan should read Madman, the world's snappiest comic magazine. Let's get it straight. And everyone should read Jeff Darrow. He's my favorite artist of all time. I'm always trying to figure out how to be more like him in his style, and get frustrated when I can't figure it out. Uncle Darrow, if you're listening to this, maybe send some tips over. Tell me how to make a line look as good as how you do it. But yeah, that's 25 pages. Let's see, Warriors like Joel. Madman's mailbag. Look at these Madman out. A Madman surfboard. Ain't that sign? I probably will get a Madman tattoo. Like a little banger. Is that what they call little tattoos? I wouldn't mind little. Maybe I don't know where. Maybe like right there, son. Little one, like that big. That'd be dope. Let's hope it doesn't become like some hate symbol or something. A little thunder sign. I could see that. Some idiot turning in a sun. Let's see, what's this? Dark Horse Comics press release. Frank Miller comments on the Marvel Heroes World affair. In light of current events regarding Marvel Comics and Heroes World, Dark Horse asked one of its favorite authors, Frank Miller, to comment on the situation. Let's see. Can everybody stop apologizing for them now? For decades, Marvel Comics has denied who created their characters and who made their comics worth reading. Now, having driven the best talent away, they face plummeting sales. Desperate and terminally unable to admit it, it is their own historic mistake that has made their comics so lousy. They turn on their distributors and merchants themselves, applying the same grab it all, own it all, control it all mentality. Godcore, or was it grab it all, or Godcore, or whatever. Mentally, that drove the writers and artists and readers away. You folks who distribute the comics, now you know exactly what they did to the artists who gave loyal service to Marvel, who showed Marvel goodwill. Can everybody stop apologizing for them now? No, it ain't just business. I love how it's ain't just business. It's the livelihoods of a lot of people who have done their best to sell Marvel comics. It's the future of a vital industry and a unique story form. It's the future of comics with their latest crude, clumsy attempt to reverse the course of comics history. Marvel Comics resembles nothing more than the last and the final Soviet Parliament. Wow, that's some powerful statements coming from Duke Miller, as I called him in the last video. The old corrupt order has broken down, so they've seized the building and ordered everybody to obey them. Then, as now, the only question is, whose side will the army, whose side the army will take? The army, in our case, is the retailers and the readers. Marvel Comics is out of steam. They aren't even trying to compete on a creative level. They've declared war on the free market. They've made it clear that they want to exercise dictatorial power over the comics market, and from all appearances, they're willing to destroy the market before they are willing to change their stupid policies or to take their proper place in the market as a fading giant. Those drunken old Soviets couldn't reverse history. Neither will Marvel Comics. We're headed for better times and better comics, with or without Marvel Comics. They'll spill a lot of blood and cause a lot of harm on their way down. They may even destroy what Phil Selling began and so many others have busted their butts to build. But ultimately, there's just one publisher among many, one bloated old symbol of an order best left in our past. My very best wishes to all of you who run or are employed in comic book shops. Marvel's just made a tough year a whole lot tougher. Good luck. Oh, what year was this book? What year did it say? Say it on the no. Inside cover say what year this was? 95. So we're about to get to that speculator boom. That like. So what? This is probably close to after Todd, Jim, Liefeld left to go make Image, and Marvel's trying to curb all their styles. It's insane to think what comics would be like if Marvel just bellied up then and there, isn't it? Like, what happens to nerddom as a culture? Are we still mocked and ridiculed without all those Marvel movies? Or would we still get really crappy adaptations like Spawn, the movie? And to a lesser part, a lot of Spawn, the book. Man, I feel like we could do a whole episode on just this article and talk about it. We probably will, because that's a pretty killer article by Frank Miller. So yeah, I'm not. I feel like I could talk about it a whole lot, but I'll probably save it for maybe a solo video. But let's look at advertising. I know I'm going to cover that, so I'm not tempted to talk about it more. Who has this stuff? What, an original print? Or oh, that's a beach towel. A beach towel, a pen, 2 shirts. If you had that, or you still have it, put down in the comments and wear a size large. Let's see what I look like in it. I'll send you some Polaroids. Then we flip a page, and it's some amazing big guy artwork by Jeff Darrow. Big Guy's a pretty cool story. It's about a giant mech who is kind of the mentor to Rusty, the Astro Boy, a full robot, and their kind of quirkiness combining. Good book. Not one of my favorite Darrow books. Still great. I'm not saying it's bad. It's probably my 3rd favorite. First being Hard Boiled, then Shaolin, then Big Guy and Rusty. Sorry for all you Big Guy lovers out there. I didn't put that as number 1. It's great though. And then we got this awesome Jeff Darrow cover. So where are we gonna rank it? Let's do a ranking real quick. We got like I said, Miller, Frazetta, and Toph. Well, naturally we're gonna get Toph out of the way. I'm sorry, Toph. And we're gonna replace it with the Darrow. And the question is, where do we put it now? I'll put it. Naturally, I'll put Frazetta in, but who do I like more? Do I like Jeff Darrow? Or I don't like. It's not who do I like more. What cover am I liking more? Because Jeff Darrow will always. I don't know. Frank Miller changed the way I look at art because of Sin City. So I'll say they're tied for now. Wait till the end to talk about it more. Let's get to the next book. I could spend probably a whole episode just talking about that artwork. So the next in that Dark Horse line is a Alex Ross one. And if you don't know who Alex Ross is, you've been living under a rock. He is one of the best artists in comic industry and still living, still pumping out stuff. He's done some of the biggest stories for DC, that being Kingdom Come. He's done Marvel's, which is, I bet it's one of Marvel's most reprinted books. And his art's just incredible. It was, I don't know, growing up, I thought comic art had to look like this or you weren't considered good. So Alex was a giant obstacle, some might say, because I tried to strive to be that good. And once I saw people like Miller, I was like, in Magnolia, I was like, I can find my own style. But I have to respect the man, the myth, the Ross. And let's see what the back cover is. Can we get lucky enough to think it's whatchamacallit, Ross cover? Oh, and that's such a good cover, man. Like, that's insane. Ross does so good. Like, I like Darrow, Miller a little bit better. Bye, Frazetta. We'll get that out of the lineup, but I think this is the new lineup for now. Because I'm sorry, this is incredible. This is what comics is made of. All of these are. All these artists have such different styles, but they do it so well. I wonder if Miller owns some Chucks. It seems like him and Darrow draw Chucks all the time. I'd like to see their shoes. But yeah, no, and I could just look at this, and we are going to look at it some more. Like, knowing Ross, if you didn't know, he used a lot of models and a lot of references, so I wonder if he actually had a group of people reading a book and he had a big old light just shining in their faces. I bet so. If anyone knows for sure, or if, I don't know if I call him Uncle Ross, but Mr. Ross is listening to this, tell me, how'd you make this? How'd you make that? Because it's incredible. It's beautiful, incredible. Every positive adjective in the dictionary, it's that. It's insane how well it is. And kudos to Mike Allred for being an amazing person and having all these friends to make covers and back covers. Oh, wow, I hadn't opened it yet. And to see some more, wow, Alex Ross stuff, that's, see, like you can, like I said, he uses models. He was using literal toys to make stuff with lighting. I'd love to see a studio. Oh, man, I need to break out my Kingdom Come trade and look at all the sketches in it. Oh, that has to be a whole video. And I'll probably pop this back out to be a little companion piece to that. Where's this artwork at? Knowing Ross it's sold, but, or it's, maybe Mike has it, but can we see it? Yeah, is it in someone's closet somewhere? I'd love to see it. I need that as a t-shirt. Come on, TeePublic. Someone on TeePublic. Ads. I was hoping Miller would do something else. God, he is such a good cartooner. Yeah, where's that as a t-shirt? Alright. That's yeah. So number 1 we got Ross, number 2 we got Miller, 3 we got Darrow so far. And like I said, in art, I'm not gonna say any of these are better than the other. It's just how I feel about them right now. So don't crucify me, Darrow fans, for putting Ross at number 1. Just a beautiful cover. I need to get 2 now. I need to get 2 of all of these so I can frame them and show their back sides. That's what she said. Let's look at the first ever Tundra book I've picked up. It has taken me 21 years for me to buy a Tundra book. Not because I've probably ran into them. I just didn't know what Tundra was until probably a year ago. Don't crucify me for that. So first off, we're going to look at, well, let's look at both of them at the same time. You might be, why are you looking at 2 different things? And why is this a mini comic? It's not a mini comic. It's a little ash can. You don't know what an ash can is? It's like a little preview, like 2 to 4 pages of the upcoming book. And they used to give them out in like Wizard and Heroes Illustrated. And let's see. Yeah, look, Hero, number 4. Now I want to try to track that down, see what it looks like. Excuse me. I went to a baseball game today and got the crap sunburned out of me. So, it was horrible. Well, not the sunburn was. The game was good. 1-9-4. Go Travs. But yeah, this ash can is actually for this issue. So we're not really going to look too far into it because everything in it is in this one. And this is the one I read probably 30 minutes before I shot this video and a couple minutes before I talked to my co-host, who's taking an exam right now. Good luck. Learn how, he's taking a class on hotel management, I think. But yeah, I didn't know I had dog ear. That's a little sad. But yeah, no, Tundra logo. If you see a Tundra logo, pick it up because there's not a whole lot of them. Tundra being the Kevin Eastman company, where if you had a good idea, he gave you quite a bit of money, and he didn't really check on you. So I'd say if there's 100 Tundra books, maybe 10 of them got made. But no, the story's about Frank Einstein, and comment below why he's named Frank Einstein, and whoever gets it right, you might get a little sun, little sun. we'll see. But Frank Einstein, our main boy, our madman, with his two science buddies, going out in the wilderness for a little vacation. The science guy who created him has been experimenting with brain increase. He's making his brain bigger. He's getting grouchy. Someone's got a little bit of the menopause. So, yeah, they're going in the desert to try to have a little vacation away from the city. And what do you know? Frank starts to get these weird brain waves from people and thinks he's hearing people talk to him. And that's kind of it for a while. He catches his friend trying to do more of the brain surgery, or not brain surgery, brain expansion. See the effects it's doing on him. He's getting, what's that Flash character called? The gorilla with the growing brain. He's getting that. He's turning into that gorilla guy. Yeah. I'm going to stop at this page because, I don't know, I think it just shows, in my opinion, how good of a cartooning is. It's about Madman and one of his doctor friends kind of doing a little cookout. And he could have them both eat hot dogs, like everyone expects him to, but the main character is asking, why is it bad to eat desserts first? And the doctor's like, I won't tell. And so you just have this, I don't know, I love it. I feel like it's fitting with the character, for our main character to be eating marshmallows for dinner, while the scientist is eating Sunhouse. I just like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a nice touch as a cartoonist. Not, you know, because what? If you lose that, you lose two really good panels. I don't know. So, I just like it. Have more stuff in your artwork like that if you're into comic making. I think it's really good. So, yeah. And then he starts hearing stuff again. The doctor's telling him no. He goes to sleep. Look how, like, what emotions all red brings. Like, curious, sleep, curious. You know, like I feel you could learn so much from his expressions as an artist. Like, he is such a good cartoonist, and I'm going to drive that fact home. I will never not say he's a good cartoonist. And he's a great guy, too. And then he starts dreaming, and a pretty serious dream for a pretty, you know, whimsical character. Kind of like about existence and what's the whole point. And, you know, that's his girlfriend, question mark, Joe. The first trade I read, they kind of start getting together at the end of it. So I need to read this series and see how far it goes. But yeah, like, look, another cartoon thing, he put the butt flap on her pajamas. Like, he didn't have to do that. He could have made it a nightgown, but it adds character, you know, and I think that's just great. I will open the ash can because I don't know, some of these panels I don't remember. I thought they looked different. Yeah, no, they're the same, but you can see it's there'll be pages cut out of an ash can. I guess I just skipped this page. I know. Yeah, that's enough of the ash can. It was cool, but having this is the same. We'll just look at this. But yeah, he thinks his girlfriend is here, and then it turns out it's not. And the scientist is like, what are you doing? So then he goes on the desert trying to find that mysterious sound. He finds something. What is that, some Play-Doh? I also love this little guy. That's a great little cartoonist touch, too. Your little silent, funny sidekick. And then you get these... You got these square panels, and then you get to these pretty fluid motion rectangles. Like, experiment with composition, kiddos. Like, don't just do squares. Throw in some mother effing rectangles. Be a bad boss. And then look at this. Look at these compositions. Look at the way he draws that. Such a great cartoonist. Yeah, it's great. He finds an alien. The alien's like, what you doing here? We're looking for our friend. He's missing. And then the kind of goes about Frank trying to find that missing alien for him as they're getting, I guess, attacked by the Men in Black. Like, another thing. I feel like every page is going to be something to point out. A, he chose to do a circle panel here when everything was squares. It really stops the action, really makes you look at it in a good way. So there's another tip, another reason to practice composition. And in this panel, you see the doctor's hands and this little guy's hands go out of the panel. Experiment with that. The panel doesn't have to be a prison. You can go outside of it. Don't do it too much, because then it's not going to look super great. But every once in a while, pretty cool. It adds. It makes you look and think. And that's what you want as a comic book. You want your people to take sun away, stop at a panel for a couple extra seconds. That's how you get fans. But yeah, they're cornered, they get shot, and then turns out there's a good guy, Men in Black, who works for a different agency, and he helps them. That black blood, that reminds me of Darrow's Hard Boiled. Which I wonder, what is this? We'll talk about it later. But yeah, so he's helping them. They're going to find their other doctor friend. Turns out he took too much of that little serum to expand his brain, and he's gone completely bananas. And that's the end of him for the rest of the issue. Go on a plane, try to get closer, because apparently he can talk to the aliens. Or I guess what the alien is kind of like the mother box from Jack Kirby. Kind of tells them what to do, when to do it. But yeah, he gets on a plane, someone attacks him. We've got a great little action sequence. Like, I feel like now they overdo action sequences, but let's just look at this panel. Like, this whole page is so great. Like, look at this panel. It's not even a panel, but this. If it was just a white background, you would lose this action. It'd be a bad panel. But just because he adds this random purple shape, I feel like draws it in so well and so good. I don't know how he figured out as an artist to do that. Maybe he did a white background, realized it didn't look as good, and then just added a purple one. Look, he's kind of edging out of that panel again. It works. It's great. He's not doing that every panel, which he could. Like, this foot could be out. This little guy's could be out. But he chooses the hands and the little, we're just going to call it the mother box. The mother box. And even on this page with Frank's arm. Like, he doesn't do it every panel, but when he does it, it works really well. And as long as it doesn't conflict with your other panels, try it. Like, what I mean by that is, if his boot is sticking out, it's competing with this panel and this panel, and you as the viewer are going to lose that focus. But since his hand's coming out here, you don't lose that, and it just is a good cartooning tip, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is study compositions. It might look really easy to do. You might be in like, he's just drawing squares. How is it so hard to draw squares? You're lying. Try to draw a 6-page story, or not 6-panel story. I'll make it easy. Try to make composition interesting. It turned out to be pretty hard. I guess I'll make that the first paper cuts included challenge. Try to, I don't know, can you link stuff in comments on YouTube? If you can, link me your 6-panel story, and I'll feature it on some post. But yeah, like, this big circle that feeds into all these panels, just amazing. So it turns out he's like a good guy, saves them when he could have just left. They land on a planet, or not planet, they land in like, we're going to call it a place with South American themes. Like South American ruins, I guess what we would deem in North America as like exploring, some like Indiana Jones vibes. But no, he's going, they find a South American theme, like Aztec Mayan city with people in it. It's very like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull without the Shia. And there's even a Easter Island head, and just a little square. It's so good. Oh, my mouth's getting dry. I'm sorry, folks. Excuse me. But no, it's incredible. Like, I don't know. Read Madman is what I'm trying to say. Don't take anything else from any video I ever make. Read Madman. Give it the paper cuts included seal of approval, even though it's only worth 2 cents. I approve, not Madman. Madman deserves to be in the Smithsonian. Trying to not get killed by natives. Oh wait, here comes some mystery man. What happens after?